Today's video inspired by the live stream that just happened, where we caught a glimpsey-wimpsy of Sumeru, and that just gets me to thinking about the future landscape of Genshin for new players. So today, we're gonna talk about pros and cons of starting Genshin Impact in 2022. Should you do it? Should you not? Spoiler, I obviously love the game and I think you should always play it. But like, what's the advantage of starting now? So I have some ideas. Come along on this journey of what the heck's going on? What are we doing? Pros! What are the pros? Obviously, heckin' Primo Gems. Obviously, the first pro to starting now, you're gonna have a lot of content to get through. So many regions, so many quests, so many gems to wish with. It's gonna be a long time for you to catch up, which is either a good thing or a bad thing. I think that could be a pro or a con, really, depending on the person. I think it's a pro because early game players, I have been playing since the beginning, but even when I started playing, I feel like it didn't take too long to catch up. Now, you're looking at months and months and months worth of content, which is like a lot. That's a pro. You have a lot of stuff to go through. Sumeru's coming. You're gonna have not only like the 3 regions we already have, Mondstadt, Inazuma, Liyue, you're gonna have Sumeru. So that's 4 regions worth of content to explore. So that's a lot. I think that's one of the pros of starting at this point versus starting at the very beginning when there was kind of a content drought. Where I'm at, there's a little bit of content drought because when you finish everything, you're basically just doing the events as they put them out, but it's not enough to really fill up hours and hours worth of time. So if you start now, you're looking at a lot of content. So that's A+. Next thing that's a pro if you're gonna start in 2022, oh my gosh, heckin' characters. Look at all these people and I don't even have all of them. So starting later means you have a lot more options, right? A lot more characters to choose from. Could also be not a pro, could also be a con if you have FOMO and you're feeling like you want all of them. Look at this man with his dull blade. Ugh. I think it's a pro because it just gives you like so much variety and so much to look forward to as a new player. And on top of that, because we are in endgame for like the majority of people now, we understand their kits. So you don't have to do any like figuring things out. We already know what's best. We know best in slot weapon, best in slot artifacts, what talents you should raise first. Like, it's all figured out. As a new player, you have access to a lot of information that like, I think the earliest game players just starting out, I mean, you're just figuring things out, right? Like at the beginning, people thought Benny was, you know, kind of a loser boy and not that useful. But now we know he is the best character in the entire game, so things change. Because we know so much, it's easy to build a good little roster of characters, like right off the bat. I mean, they give you good characters to begin with too. Well, they give you Kaya, Amber, Lisa. I don't know so much about using them, but you can build like good teams, right? With all the characters we have, and you have some variety. So starting later, you have a few more options. The next pro, end game friends. If you were beginning, like starting from the very beginning, early game player, everyone's at the same level, right? You're all starting like at the very beginning. You're all the same strength level. But now, if you're just starting and you're having trouble clearing content, people are AR60 out here. Like, you can get them to help you and slap things for you, absolutely decimate people. So it's pretty easy to clear the content, especially with help. If you're struggling, I struggled definitely through some of the quests. That stupid Ruin Guard quest was terrible. Now you can enlist help from like either friends or random strangers. A lot of endgame players are bored. So they want to help you, right? Like, they want to come in your world and they want to give assistance, and it's easy for them. So yeah, get help from friends. Makes it easier on you. That's definitely a pro of starting at this point of the game, that people are ahead of you. They can, you know, you can hitch your truck to their pony and they'll drag you along. Cons. There are obviously cons of starting now. Obviously, like, the biggest negative to starting Genshin Impact now is they do not have a system where you can get these later game materials earlier on in the game. So like, if you started playing now and you're pulling on the Ito banner and you get yourself a Kuki Shinobu, what the heck is this? Where do you get this? So you get this all the way like in the chasm, right? Which you're not gonna have unlocked if you just started playing. So it's kind of difficult to build certain characters when you're starting in Mondstadt. Like, the same with this Naku weed. This isn't in Inazuma. So if you just started and you got lucky on your Ito pulls, maybe you got Ito too. I don't know, you got a Kuki and an Ito, nice. Maybe a Goro too. All 3 of those characters use Inazuma materials or Chasm stuff, so you're not gonna be able to build them for a little bit. That might be okay, because if you do the trial, you'll have enough to ascend them at least a little bit. But in terms of like, once you need to get past level like 40 and you feel like you need that extra strength, you might not be in Inazuma yet. You might just be through the leeway stuff, depending how slowly you're doing stuff. So that's like the obvious con is where the heck are people gonna get these materials, right? Where are new players gonna get these materials? I don't know. I hope they implement a system where you can exchange it or something, because imagine we get to Sneznaya and there's like a new Sneznayan character and you have to go through 7 regions to get the materials. Like, what are we gonna do? They need to figure that out. That's the #1 con of starting right now, I think. That's what a lot of my friends said too. They have a ball, but they can't level up. Exactly! And then I think people feel discouraged and that might stop them from playing because you like pulled for a character that you love, but you can't build them. So it's kind of like a great conundrum. So yes, #1 issue I think new players are gonna face materials. At some point they have to address that. They're just going to have to, because they're gonna turn people off from the game if you cannot farm for the characters you got. Like, you can't have a game that relies on gacha elements and FOMO and then not have people be able to use the characters. Like, that doesn't mesh. That's not gonna be good. So that's the #1 con of starting Genshin Impact right now. I will say you can probably clear the content relatively quickly if you're a hardcore gamer or you get into the game a lot and you really like try to speedrun it. But part of the fun is like enjoying the ride. So, you know, it's a sticky situation. Next negative point I could see was starting now, FOMO. If you have FOMO, you have missed out on like 1 year and a half-ish worth of content, which includes event exclusive weapons, exclusive items like the Zither, the Lyre, although you can buy those now, so it's, you know, that's fine. But in terms of weapons, if you have FOMO, you did miss out some things. You missed some things, which is, you know, to be expected. Skins, free 4-star skins that you would have to pay for at this point. So if you want to be free to play and you want those skins, like, yada luck, that's probably another negative element. Hello, this is Editing Meej. To add on to this point, not just FOMO for physical things like the weapons, the items, but also FOMO in terms of events. We have had whole entire story quests, full-fledged events that have happened that we just can't not even replay, but rewatch unless you're gonna watch it on YouTube. And a lot of that content is very exciting and some of the best parts of playing Genshin. So if you're a new player and you're coming back and you're seeing this stuff and you realize not only can I not play it, but I can't even like see it, it's definitely kind of sad. And it's kind of sad also because so many people worked on these events, not just like the developers, but think about the resources to get the voice actors to do the lines and then all of the lore that's kind of tied into it that new players just entirely miss out on. That is also probably one of the major downsides to starting now, is that we've just missed out on events. I think that's something they actually could fix by making some sort of maybe like time machine feature where we could at least watch them, ideally play them, but maybe not get rewards or get fewer rewards, just so like you can revisit that stuff, because it's important lore-wise, it's important story-wise, and new players just can't even experience it. So that's to add on top of it. I think that's probably also one of the biggest flaws with starting right now. Okay, back to Video Meej. That I think is #2, starting now, FOMO. If you want to be like on the cusp of things and you want it to start from the very beginning to, you know, you missed name cards, you missed weapons, you missed items, then yeah, you're gonna suffer some FOMO. So if you have that, you're starting now, that might be a con as well. The last con I could think of was battle-based events wherein you can't co-op. If you want to like reap all the rewards, you just probably can't. Usually they make the lowest reward the Primogem reward, so you'll probably be fine. But if you want all the rewards or like sometimes a name card, like I missed out on a name card when I first started playing because it was like this intense dungeon thing and I had just started, so I couldn't beat it. So you will like miss out on things like that probably if you're an early game person and you're just starting and you can't co-op certain things. That's a con as well. But that's why you should start now, so that you can start building and then do it faster. So, in conclusion, what do we think? Should you start Genshin Impact now, 2022? I think so. I just think like no matter what, it's a fun, chill game. And yeah, you're gonna have some catching up to do, but you have a lot of content to get through. It's kind of like you're not gonna run out of stuff for a while. So if you're looking to be entertained, even for just like a few months, I think it's worth a shot. You will, if you have FOMO, miss out on a few things like we said, but what else can you do? And with Sumeru coming around the corner, I just think now we're gonna see maybe an influx of players. So for all my fellow people in chat who are higher ARs, we can help someone out. So if you're thinking of starting playing Genshin Impact 2022, I recommend it. I think you should. It's fun. Give it a try, especially with Sumeru coming soon. We're gonna have a lot of new content, a lot of new characters, a whole new element, which is probably the most exciting thing for like late game players that we've seen in a while. A whole new element. Come on. Join me on stream, twitch.tv/meanjin. And if you're a new player and you want to come by and you want to drop your ID in chat, we'll help you out. I got friends in NA that, you know, we could come in, demolish things for you, make it easy. I don't have any other accounts. My Asia account's very sad, so please don't hit me up on there. But NA, I can help. And thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy your journey. I'll see you in the next one. Bye! But, okay, we're gonna close this off before I like throw up on stream.